So we're going to start with Hillary. So Hillary, I'm so excited to have you here today. Recently, I was able to participate in an online training that Hillary had done, and it reminded me how Social Security can be so much more complicated than it initially seems. I really kind of thought I got it with like, okay, it's just this matter of figuring out, what age do I want to start it at, and how is that going to mathematically translate to my goals? Well, I'll just say that I left that webinar like, holy cow, I have so much to learn. So we're going to start with just some basic questions of how does a person qualify to receive retirement benefits through Social Security, especially if they took time off from the workforce for raising kids or for some other reason.
So this is typically how we start each conversation, each presentation is with just the basics. So how does someone qualify for a Social Security benefit? And you qualify for Social Security by working and paying Social Security taxes. To receive a Social Security benefit, you have to have 40 credits, which is 10 years of work. So again, you're earning credits by working and paying those Social Security taxes. And to earn a credit, it is based on a gross dollar amount, and this amount changes every year. So in 2025, to earn one credit, you need to earn $1,810 in gross earnings. The maximum number of credits you can earn per year is 4. So that's why you have to have 10 years of work, because that's 40 credits. So for example, for this year, to earn all 4 credits, you would need to make at least $7,240 in gross wages. And it doesn't matter if you make all of that in 1 month or if it takes you the course of the entire year. Once you have reached that number, you have earned your 4 credits. One thing to know about those credits is when you earn them, you never lose them. So for example, if you're someone that started out in the workforce, working maybe at a younger age, and then you leave the workforce for a significant amount of time to take care of family or to attend to any needs where you are leaving the workforce, when you re-enter later on, any credits that you have are still there. So when you earn those credits, you never lose those credits. How we determine what your monthly benefit amount is going to be is based on your earnings over your entire lifetime. So it's a 3-step process that we use. We call it indexing, where we look at your earnings over your entire lifetime, and then we use a computation where we basically give a higher value to your actual earnings. And that's the piece that's called indexing. And then from there, we pick out your 35 highest earnings years and use that in a computation to determine what your monthly benefit amount is going to be. So if you're someone that doesn't have 35 years of work, that's totally fine. Let's say you only have 20 years of work. That means we would use all 20 years in the computation, but we're also going to use 15 zeros because we always use 35 years in that calculation. And if you're someone that has more than 35 years of work, let's say you have 40 years of work, we're going to pick out those highest 35 earnings years when we determine what your monthly benefit is going to be.
Great. So what is the earliest age that somebody can start collecting Social Security, and does that benefit amount go up in equal increments with each additional month until they reach their maximum benefit? Or are there such things as different thresholds in the meantime?
So this question can get a little complex. First of all, the earliest age that any of us can start receiving Social Security is age 62. But the longer you wait to file for a benefit, the higher your benefit will be. So once you reach your full retirement age, you will receive 100% of your Social Security benefit. So when you're under full retirement age, the percentage that you receive will just depend how old you are at the time you start collecting benefits. Again, each month that you wait to file, the higher your benefit will be. But when you're under full retirement age, it's not equal percentages. So, for example, if you're more than 36 months younger than your full retirement full retirement age, each month that you delay increases your benefit by 5/12%. So it just depends on where you are when you're under full retirement age. Now, once you reach full retirement age, that's when you receive 100% of your Social Security benefits. And then if you delay, so you can wait until after full retirement age. From the time you're full retirement age up until age 70, you can earn what we call delayed retirement credits. So your benefit is going to increase even more. Once you reach age 70, your benefit does not increase anymore based on your age, so there'd be no point in delaying and filing once you reach age 70. I know this is a ton of information, especially when you talk about, those little percentages. If you wanted to know what your benefit amount is going to be and get those estimates, if you go to our website, ssa.gov, you can create a My Social Security account, and through your account is where you can get that information to compare what your benefits would be at different ages or at different dates or times of when you want to start collecting those benefits.
You guys got all that right? Okay, so if you could clarify what is the current full retirement age, but also how does that change for people that were born prior to 1960?
So your full retirement age is based on your year of birth. If you go back one slide, there's a chart that has full retirement ages on it. There we go. So for individuals born 1960 or later, full retirement age is age 67. So that means at age 67, those individuals are going to receive 100% of their Social Security benefit. If they start collecting early at 62, again, that's the earliest that any of us can collect, you can see their percentage there is 70%. And then if they wait until age 70, the benefit increases, they're earning those delayed retirement credits, the benefit is 124%. So individuals that were born prior to 1960, their full retirement age, it's just going to depend on their year of birth. So this year, individuals that were born in 1959, when they're filing for Social Security benefits, their full retirement age is age 66 in 10 months. And then if you just reference this chart, again, you can see what the differences are there based on your year of birth.
Okay, so I'm sure that we have a lot of women out there that might have taken time off to work and care for children at home, or possibly never even worked outside the home. So can you give a simplified version of how divorced or widowed spouses can qualify and receive benefits?
So a simple example is always hard to do, but I think I can do that. So in order to collect a benefit on your own work record, again, you need 40 credits. If you don't have any credits, though, that's okay in order to get a benefit as a spouse, as a divorced spouse, as a widow, or a divorced widow. When we are determining if someone is eligible for a spousal benefit or an ex-spousal benefit, if they are due benefits on their own work record, they do have to collect benefits on their own record first before they can be entitled to a spousal benefit or an ex-spousal benefit. So the maximum benefit that a spouse or an ex-spouse can receive is 50% of the worker's benefit at the worker's full retirement age. There is a reduction for early retirement. Again, if your own benefit is less than 50% of your spouse's benefit at their full retirement age, you can receive a combination of the two to equal 50%. But if the benefit on your own record is higher than 50%, you can only get benefits on your own record. You cannot collect until your spouse starts collecting. And if you are married, your marriage has to have lasted at least 1 year to get a spousal benefit. For an ex-spousal benefit, the marriage must have lasted at least 10 years. So an example of this would be if my husband, let's say my husband at his full retirement age, or my ex-husband, his benefit at full retirement age is $2,000. The most that I can receive is 50% of that. So the most I can get is $1,000. That's if I start collecting at my full retirement age. If I start collecting early, there's going to be a reduction. The reduction will just depend on how old I am at the time I start collecting. But let's say I'm due benefits on my own record as well. So if the benefits on my own record are more than 50%, let's say my benefits are $1,200, I cannot collect that spousal benefit or that ex-spousal benefit because the benefits on my record are over that 50% amount. But if the benefits on my own record are less, let's say $700, that means I can collect $700 off of my own record, plus an additional $300 as the spousal benefit or the ex-spousal benefit, and the combination of the two equal 50% of my husband's or my ex-husband's. If we are married, I have to wait for my husband to file and collect benefits in order for me to collect off of his record. If we are divorced and we've been divorced for at least 2 years, I do not have to wait for him to file and collect off of his record. As long as he is at least 62 and eligible for benefits, I can collect those ex-spousal benefits off of his record. When we talk about benefits for widows or divorced widows, the percentage that you receive just depends on how old you are at the time you start collecting. So you can collect a benefit as a widow, widower, ex-widow, or widower as early as age 60. So if you start collecting that benefit at age 60, the percentage is going to be at its lowest. So you would receive 71.5% of the worker's benefit at the time they passed away. Once you are full retirement age, if you start collecting that widow, widower's benefit or the benefit as the ex-widow, widower, it would be 100% of that payment that the person was receiving at the time they passed away.
Okay, I'm going to throw in one quick question because with all that complexity, and thank goodness we're heading into financial planning with Sherry after this, is there somebody at the Social Security office who you can sit down with in person who can actually run some scenarios for you to help you determine, or is it simply you sitting behind a computer on your SSA Gov account trying to mess with those crazy numbers?
So it depends what type of benefits you're going to be applying for or that you're getting information on. So all of the information about your own benefits, your retirement benefits, are available online through that My Social Security account. So if you want information about your own benefits, we are directing individuals to go online to create that account to get information about their own retirement benefits. But if you need information about benefits, like ex-spousal benefits or survivor benefits, that information is not available online. So then I would tell individuals to contact their local Social Security office to obtain that information. Most of the time, just calling the local Social Security office directly, you can speak with someone over the phone, or if you would like to schedule an appointment, you can do that as well. We're operating under an appointment-based service model, so you can't just walk into the office anymore and say, I'm here to get information, I'm here to file for benefits. We do require individuals to have an appointment when they're visiting their local Social Security office, so you definitely want to have an appointment for that.
Very good to know. So with people living longer, many people are choosing to actually continue working into their later years. What are the limits that someone can earn while they're receiving benefits before they start making too much and their benefits get reduced?
So the earnings limit, this typically changes every year. The information that's on the screen now, these of course are the amounts for 2025. So if someone is going to be receiving a benefit prior to their full retirement age, so this means if it's a benefit, a retirement benefit off of their own record, a spousal benefit, an ex-spousal benefit, a survivor benefit, if you're under full retirement age collecting any of those benefits, the earnings limit for this year is $23,400. And we are only counting income from work. So we don't include any sort of like IRA distributions, casino winnings, lottery winnings. We're just looking at income from work. So again, for this year, someone under full retirement age, if they're collecting a Social Security benefit, the earnings limit is $23,400. If they make over this amount, Social Security will withhold $1 for every $2 that they make over the amount. If this is the year that someone is reaching full retirement age, the earnings limit is $62,160. If someone makes over this amount, Social Security will withhold $1 for every $3 they make over this amount. And then the month that you reach full retirement age in continuing, there is no earnings limit.
Okay, so that's kind of a good incentive to retire at some point, I would say. So Hillary, is there anything else that you want to add before we move on to Sherry?
I would say the best source of information is really going online to our website, creating that My Social Security account. If you want estimates, for your benefit amounts, that's definitely the place to go. It's a really good starting point when you're trying to determine, when to start collecting those benefits. Also, if you're already receiving benefits, it's great to have a My Social Security account because you can do business with Social Security online instead of having to call the local office or call the 800 number. That would be my advice, is having that My Social Security account. And if you don't feel comfortable using online services, or sometimes it can be a little bit tricky creating that online account, you can always call the 800 number or call your local office directly, and just make sure that you have an appointment before you go into the local office.
I'm just going to add to that too, for any of you that don't necessarily want to do that online, but have somebody else that wants to be your advocate, an adult child. I know for, my mom, I've kept her Social Security stuff online, and I go into that account and look periodically and was able to download her tax documents and things like that. So that is always a wise thing to have set up, even if it's a just in case.